Hey, I posted something yesterday, and I knew I was gonna post something either tomorrow or Monday. But just to kind of add on to what I was saying in reference to mindset um, and actual success in living your best life. A lot of people are using like social media and uh, these companies are starting to go in that direction because they know traditional. That's why we're so bombarded with advertisement, and it's trillions of dollars in ads. And if you ever look at some of these videos, like with Myron Gold and Grant Cardone and Eric War, and they tell you, in traditional businesses as an entrepreneur, you got to look at, the most basic thing that makes the world go round. It's called commerce. And it kind of levels out the playing field, but you got to be willing enough to be open to get the information that's there laid out for you. I mean, there's so many different genres, so many different ways that fits every single person's ability to succeed in business as an entrepreneur. Biggest problem is mindset, having an open mind and knowing what you're capable of doing and willing to do, as opposed to giving up, uh, giving up the ideas of feeling as though you, you, you only have purpose when you go and work in a cubicle, you know. Um, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. That's like my wife has that. She works in an office. Granted, she's like up there, and as far as when it comes down to accomplishing, has a very successful career. And I'm retired. I don't have the restrictions of having to go to an office and and give my time, having to give up my time. I value my time. Not to say that she doesn't value hers, but she has no ability or freedom to do whatever she feels she wants to do. A lot of us, 95% of the population, especially in the United States, we're in that. We're in that because that's what we're conditioned. We go to school, we're taught that, we got to go to college. But see, the crazy part is, especially college, you go into quarter. Oh my gosh, you know, we're not millionaires. We're not, people that make it. Now you're talking about a system that basically gets parents or a guardian to send their kid that has no job, just getting out of high school, to go to an institution that teaches them what? Statistical information and data on how to fit into a system. It doesn't teach you how to control that system or be able to capitalize on that system in a way of creating wealth. Just doesn't happen. But yet, in that, these people and these kids are going into debt. The average degree, undergrad degree, cost anywhere between, within a 4-year period, costs between, I say, 100 to almost a third of $1 million. Really? Okay, sister's a doctor. 300 some $1,000 in student debt. Granted, she's making, you know, she's making, but yet, it's like life happens. So yeah, she has to basically try to chip away at paying this back. I mean, come on. Seriously? You have folks, multi-million and wealthy people with an 8th grade education. You know why? Because they understood. They had to feed their brain the right information. And let me tell you, it is the most simplistic formula and things. But people aren't with it. Everything's like, they basically, I call it a distraction, but it becomes so diluted and like, and they use statistics to try to control the process. Commerce, the most simplest and easiest thing. But what it stems to is your action. Gotta be out there meeting people. You gotta believe in what you're doing, because that's what people buy into, not the products. It's you. So this whole $1 trillion industry is about to get unraveled. So they're doing this. They've been bombarding all this crap on YouTube, social media. Now you on your phones. Some people, they get on, they'll get something, a product or something, or an app, and all of a sudden, you're getting all these ads on your phone. Right in the middle of you're doing something, this ad pops up. This is something that you're paying for, a phone. I mean, back in the day on television, this is when the process was, you had you had a sitcom or whatever, television show that you watched, and you had your ads. And they understood that, okay, what we try to do is we try to attract the viewership, and and they know, and it was a process how they just, it was, it's crazy. It's literally criminal. But the point was, it was like the ad agencies, television studios and all that, they basically took all the ad dollars to pay for these shows that you got to watch, quote unquote. It wasn't free, because basically these ads and these companies depended on these ads for viewership to see their products, and you go out and buy it. Simple. It's called consumerism. Now it's gotten to the point where, now it's one-on-one, because people are starting to take recommendations of others. Like if I have a stomach problem and I have a product that helps you. I used to have acid reflux. I have a product that helps people with acid reflux. Very simple. It's a common problem. So now, I got a bunch of customers that, that get this product. Simple. But these companies, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. I tell you what, when all said and done, with everything and all the craziness that's going on, they've already positioned themselves, to a point where, they do so much, they've thrown so much money. Now everything's affiliate marketing, and they're behind the 8 ball. It's just like with the music industry. Prince basically just toppled the industry on its head, and it wasn't, you know, he wasn't blaming uh what label was it, Warner Brother. He was blaming the system that Warner Brother was operating, because let me tell you, the people that at Warner Brother, they gave him so much creative rights and ability to, and he wouldn't have been where he was if it wasn't for the fact that they trusted him and believed in his abilities. And he got to where he eventually got to. But then he started realizing that there was, you know, they were controlling too much of his creative freedom. That's where the problem came into. But then at the same time, he was like, look, you know, you guys need to change your model, because, you know, the internet's coming. They didn't listen. The Napster, and then all of a sudden, boom. Now everything's streaming. You know, you can't make this stuff up. But at the same time, you know, the artists were screaming, oh, you know, my publishing and all that stuff. But then they kept feeding the system, and they didn't realize, you know, they were basically, the companies were holding them responsible for their criminality. They were charging people $18, $20, $30, $35, and $50, $60 for oncology, all these elaborate, you know. And the artist was only getting a sliver in publishing rights and various things, while they took the brunt of everything. And now the internet just like toppled all of that and exposed them for the crooks they are. But then they try to make, you know, the artists pay for it. And now the artists are paying for their criminality, because now the artists aren't getting it because of the streaming. There's no way to monetize the level of you know, it's crazy, you know. Big thing is now, someone creates something that, or these existing systems like Amazon and all them, they need to do the right thing, and start doing the same thing, but like having the same structure, you know, with distribution and promoting and all that stuff, with the artist, and give them the just dues for their talents. That's all. You know, people pay, you know, just like they didn't have a choice back then, you know, to pay $18 for, you know, 8-song CD or album. It's the same principle. If you want this music, you know, but then do it the right way. Pay these artists, pay the, you know, and be honest about it. You know. You know, instead of charging $18, charge $5, $6. You know, you talk about millions and millions of dollars that are being generated because there's other things and other factors that's involved with not just the end product. You talking about publishing, right? Intellectual property, you know, T-shirts, the whole nine, you know, and you know, concerts, and you know, Prince again. When it came down to concert, Prince, James Brown, and all that, man. Come on. But hey, I digress. Look, it's about one-on-one. It's about getting out there. It's about creating relationships and basically sharing. You're not selling, you're sharing. You're solving somebody's problem. You're doing it through relationships instead of through advertising and ads. Everybody sells. Hey. You know, I used to, at first I was like, oh man, you know, I thought my family and friends would be like jumping right on this, because I thought they would see And coming about, everybody's not built, you know. I'm not gonna try to convince anybody anything. But see, there are people out there that are looking for opportunity. I'm just learning how to get out there and do it. But see, there's actually a passion and a love in that, because you're doing a lot of good. You're helping a lot of people. It's amazing. I think Don Martin, I think Colin Haskins, and David McCord, all these people that have been instrumental in my life. I think my partner Chris Smith, we do all kinds of stuff. He values my input and my ability to understand and do and conduct business in the way it should be conducted. In spite of what everybody else because I've never exposed that part of me and who I am to a lot of people. But it is what it is. And on top of that, music. I'm in a place where I've never even thought it. I've always dreamt about it, but it's awesome. It's awesome. It's causing me to do and be, and really, really dive into some things that are really opening up a lot of doors for me mentally. Feeding myself the right things every single day. J.R. Ridinger and Lauren Ridinger and Andrew Weissman, Kevin Buckman, and Mark, an amazing Mark Ashley. Ugh, that dude, man, he's a rock star. But I'm telling you, it starts with you. Success is doing the things that everybody else is not willing to do. But let me tell you, those things that are required are the most simplest things, because people are always looking at certain things like abundance and all to be so complex. It's not. It really isn't. God didn't design it that way. So if you know and understand the principle behind it, then I can't convince anybody of anything, and any of it. They have to want it for themselves. I used to get frustrated about, why aren't they seeing it? I'm like, okay, they may not be, but there's somebody that is. There's 8 billion people on this planet. Let me tell you, my business wouldn't be a multi-billion-dollar business if it wasn't, if that was the case. So, all right, live your best life.